Hi everyone, it's Rita. If you're new to my channel, I'm an Akashic Records reader and accessor and teacher, and I have been opening up the Akashic Records of various things. If you're not familiar with the Akash, it's the vibrational history of everything, which is kind of amazing. But everything is frequency and resonance, and it's all vibration and sound and everything, right? Because we are only 5% of what we see. So we're mostly energy. Scientists at Harvard and Yale back in the 30s and 40s were using magnets to help people heal because they knew the ions weren't flowing well. And if you go back into Chinese medicine, you'll see they've been using acupuncture and stuff for centuries, right? So we're not really taught that in the United States. And so a lot of this is new for people. And then the whole idea that we can see, people can see auras, that's really interesting. And I started a film project called that I'm calling The Revelation of You, that I wanted to know what crystals did to the energy field, because I heard beautiful connections with the rose quartz I used in my mom's life celebration. And it really led to me to very clearly understanding that we are energy that never ceases. And I can't wait to show you that in the film. But today, I've opened up the Akashic Records of the Whale Council and the whales on planet Earth. I used both of those. So I have a prayer that was channeled by Dr. Linda Howe that I use, and I feel a vibrational shift in my body when I open up the records. So I've got them open right now, and I was feeling like I went into this really sort of strong energy. Very still, very deep. So somebody asked a question for me to ask, which is, so they're saying that they're here, which is cool. Okay, so I'm clairaudient. I don't know if that's why I hear when I'm in the Akash, but mostly I feel like I'm hearing. And so what's the advice on connecting to the higher self? So they're saying there is this pinpoint or jumping off point that is in the brain. So again, it's all connecting to your higher self is through the body. But it's almost like it goes from the brain down to this, they call it the Dantian, but this point where you feel like, your umbilical cord where you were born, that fed you and nourished you and everything. So down, kind of down in this area. So there's this energy that flows back and forth. And it's sort of connected to the cerebral spinal fluid, but not totally. But you're accessing some of that when you listen to some of these breath meditations and things like that, or people are talking about the cerebral spinal fluid and getting that to kind of move, or bringing that energy and attention into the center of the brain. But it's really not the brain. It's sort of a transmitter. So I'm just telling you what I'm hearing, okay? So if you're new to my channel, that's how it works. So for me, everyone's different, right? So what do we need to know? So what is the higher? So the advice. So they really want you to. So the idea, if you're really interested in this, is that sort of visualization of this energy that's here. There's a connecting point here. So and that's the whole idea I'm hearing behind what they call Kundalini energy. So you're spiraling energy up through your body and kind of connecting in here. And then however you want to do it, you could imagine it cascading around you, coming back up through the base of your spine, spiraling up. Or even just imagining the breath that way, bringing the breath up that way. Or you can picture it as light. So part of it is the idea that you are in your body more because you connect through the body. A lot of the yogis that feel like they can connect outside themselves, they are very deep in their body as a norm. So, and then there's the power of their belief about where they're connecting. But most people need to, I'm hearing most people need to connect. You need to connect through the body, because that's where everything happens. There's a cellular connection to everything. And the more you understand about your DNA, the more you'll understand more of what you are. Scientists like to say that you have junk DNA, but that's laughable. You know, nothing about the human is junk. The human is the most perfected energy resource in multiple galaxies. So so I ask questions like, is there anything else we need to know about that? So what's the advice on connecting to your higher self? They're really excited about this question. So thank you for asking it. Be confident in knowing when you connect to your higher self that it is all positive and loving and good and with great advice. So don't be, if you get anything that's not that, it's you're not connected to who you are. So that's good. We know our boundary. What else? There's a flow to everything. Trust that, trust the flow. And if something feels like it's not flowing well, or if it's restricted, then you have a choice. And your higher guidance will always direct you towards what flows really easily. You really need to trust that. They just showed me an example where I was trying to find something on the computer, and I put in such and such, and then it wouldn't let me go any further, and I'm trying a zillion different ways to do it, and that's not flow. So it's like time to either try another approach, which feels like flow, or just put it down and come back to it, right? Create a routine for yourself so that when you do this with the energy and you're connecting the energy, through the body and and thinking of the whole body as a sensor, or this area here is like a sensor, and then your skin. You can even do it where you go inside the body and then emanate back out. But when you do that, have a little bit of a routine. Some people have an altar. Some people just have a quiet space in nature that they go to. But the more that, it's like the body preconditions itself. So when you go, like every morning, you're going to sit somewhere or go outside somewhere, or whatever, however you calm your mind in the morning, the more that it's the same spot, it's the same, it's almost like you're getting yourself into that space before you get there. And of course, grab your favorite crystal and hold on to it. I used to, when I first started trying to meditate, I would sit cross-legged, and I like to face the direction for some reason where the sun rose. And for some reason, again, like I've always been in positions where I'm kind of facing the sun in the morning, and I would put the crystals on my ankles so they're touching my skin. So I'm making that contact with them. And they're saying that was a good practice for me. And people can develop their own practices that are good for them. But any sort of connecting in nature, and crystals remind you of what and who you are. So crystals are great for that. You can crystals sort of tune you. You don't really tune crystals. Okay, I'm running out of time here. Blessings.